So, I am doing a thing today, and it's not quite on my list, but it does sync up with my systems approach. And I know for me, I love this idea of my in-laws being able to stop over and cooking like just dinners all the time, where friends can drop over and people can visit, and game nights can roll into sleepovers for adults. And I have nieces and nephews that are able to just visit and be accessible. But I used to be such a social butterfly in a former life of mine. And I have gotten really lost in the last 10, 12 years. And I will say that making friends as an adult is hard. It is hard to make friends sometimes the older that you get, and the more you get absorbed into work and life and stresses and this and the that's. And today I'm making a point to hang out with a friend, a new friend, and I'm nervous. I'm surprised that I actually didn't cancel. I tend to do that a lot, but we'll see how this goes, or if I even include this. So I am up super late, and I will just say that I had a good evening, and I'm glad I made time to socialize, but I will also be very real in saying I had a little bit of a breakdown on my way home for the fact that it was a couple of different things, and I don't know if it was more grief based, if it was guilt and shame based, but I had a lot of thoughts about how you transition from your early 20s to your 30s with a smaller friend group, and you can love your spouse and partner so much, and they can be such a great pillar and institution for your life, but they are not the be all end all, and you do need other people. And it's great to think that Caleb and I can expand our friend group, and in a lot of ways I have desperately wanted to be included in some of his friend groups over the years, and it's been a part of conversation of feeling like you belong in some type of way, and it's like joining another person's tribe, and the vulnerability that's associated with, will you be accepted? How will you be judged? Is there going to be an authentic connection and conversation with, people from another tribe? And part of what this systems reset is more about, a slower, more mindful, more deliberate approach to living every day that's in the present rather than functioning in chaos and stress. And in some ways I feel like a broken record, right? And I know for some people watching that their goals are different, and so I don't want to be exclusion based, but I also want to include the topic of, mental health and personal growth, because, a lot of my systems approach is about the idea of not being isolated, having a more fulfilling and sustainable home. With Caleb, it's about feeling more functional and not being stuck in, this chaos that I keep referring to. And that's, I think, a big aspect to what a lot of people's system resets are. It's about making positive room for growth in some sort of aspect. It's about, you know, making the strides in the processing to do things more efficiently, whether it just be for mental functioning or if there's some sort of serving of a practical result as to why approach a system. And I think I recently touched on this where I want to pull out that original thing and maybe do a recap, either at or roughly a little past midway point in 60 days. So I want to see realistically where I'm at from where my mind frame is of my original goals. And I will challenge the people who are doing this with me to do that too. Pull out your original workflow sheet or the notes that you maybe took on what you wanted to change with your systems approach and see where you're at. Take inventory as to, the application of these new healthy habits of approaching things more as a system than a goal oriented day to day life. And maybe we can have a conversation together about how this is going. If you'd be interested in maybe a live conversation, let me know down below. That might be fun. But yeah, I think this is going to be a short video today. So that's it. My eyes are super puffy, so I think it's time for me to get to bed. All right, good night, and remember to keep growing from where you are. Juice.